So we are panic getting ready. We changed our mind at the last minute. Originally, we were gonna leave tomorrow and drive the whole way from here to Roermond. And we have decided to reduce our driving tomorrow because we want to spend more time in Roermond. And why are you looking at me like that?
Because I want to ask you if you've got your toothbrush and brushed your teeth yet.
Yeah, I did do that. And we are going to stay the night at a hotel in Luxembourg because we also wanted to go to Luxembourg, and now we're just gonna do that on the way there. Yeah, so it's a little bit hectic at the moment, but I'm trying to vlog, and yeah, so hopefully I don't forget anything. I don't like panic packing, but okay, we did it last week, so it's mostly the same stuff. We once again fit everything in. So we just got to the hotel and it is so beautiful here. I can't believe it. And actually well, I'll show you the view out the window. Wow, that is a nice view. It feels like we're in Paris or something.
We are.
Well, we're not in Paris. Now I'm just going to show you some sights and a few sounds of Luxembourg. So this is a tower house thing. Obviously no one lives there now, but another house that people do seem to live in now. This is the bottom of that cool train bridge that we walked underneath. The top again, and just like a normal city subway type train that is still using what looks like a very old thing. That's our hotel. This is the inside of a church. You can just walk into basically any church and check it out. They had some really cool stained glass. Our food was knedelen, which is like gnocchi sort of, but different. We had like a cheese sauce. It was good. Here I was trying to go to the bathroom. We thought that it would be downstairs, and this was all owned by the restaurant, and then I realized that it was actually just like walking into like another street. But then I turned around and came back, and I just thought it was pretty cool, and maybe some people would be interested to see that. Here's the front of, or the side front of a big church, and then a bunch of people just skateboarding out in front of it. Business people eating lunch, supper, pretty crazy. This plane just looked really cool to me. That's the explanation for this one. And a beautiful, beautiful sunset over the valley. And this very not beautiful porta potty that I experienced. So it's, what day is it? Thursday morning? And we spent the night in Luxembourg last night. It was super duper cool. We really enjoyed it. I really didn't look up anything about it before I came and was just totally blown away. It's kind of like a weird, like twisted Paris that's like pretty chill, but everybody was super fancy, and I just had on what I normally wear, which is like shorts and a t-shirt, whatever, and that was a little weird. But the landscape, the buildings, everything was like super, super cool. So we're just getting ready to head down for breakfast, and then we are heading out again to Roermond. We are on the way to breakfast. A very socially distant breakfast with everything covered, and you have to ask for certain things. Jesus on a pump. And here's some sights on the way to our next destination, Roermond. Our battery-powered air pump was delivered later that same day.
Done. Good action.
Right here, we can park here. Bathrooms are right there. This is like a pretty posh camping place. I don't know. Here are some of the sites walking into Roermond and the kind of town center square area. We had some delicious food, weird little hand sanitizer things. Sorry for the vertical video. Here's the church, that looks pretty cool. And then also from the side, and the tunnel coming into Monda's mouth in Dutch. So yeah. You told me to give you warning, and now that's what you're doing? You're not that hot. Or are you just having a seizure? What's happening here?
It's pretty hot.
It's very hot. We're hot. We're just walking around basically from place to place, stopping to have a drink because we're so hot. We can't even drink beer really because it's just too hot for anything. We're looking for a bank and a grocery store. Potato, 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 potato. So this is the designer outlet. You can see, and especially here, lots of people, none of which are wearing masks. And it's outside, but it's really a lot. So we spent all day walking around Roermond for the most part. We parked at this designer outlet and then walked through. It's like a huge designer outlet. Probably potentially one of the biggest ones in Europe, and it was kind of crazy like how little anybody here cares about COVID compared to Germany or even Luxembourg that we were just in. Like the rules in Luxembourg were all the same as what they are in Germany. You have to wear a mask inside. If you're outside and you can't socially distance, it's like expected kind of that you would, and a lot of people do, but outside is like a little less strict, but inside you definitely have to. And here there's just like, please try and social distance and wash your hands still. So that was pretty weird to see people walking around without masks on. Actually, just like in groups was like weirdly strange to see. Someone I follow on Instagram seems to feel the same way.
I have just been into a Dutch supermarket and I was the only person wearing a mask, including all the customers and the staff. What?
And there was a beach actually that was called Palm Springs that was on the way to where we drove past it, and it could have been Florida or California or anything. It was just like packed with people. Obviously it's outside and it's like 30 degrees or something here, so I don't know. I couldn't see how close or far people were actually on the beach. It just looked really crowded from the road where we were, so I don't know. What did you think to our day?
It's alright.
Good morning. It's Thursday, I think, right? No, it's Friday now. Good morning. It's Friday.
Now nobody knows why you're laughing.
Nobody knows why I'm laughing, but it's because I couldn't remember what day it is. Anyways, so we went to check out the military base where Mark used to work here before.
Continue to follow Noordersbeek.
Welcome being what's it say?
Something. More on this later. Something.
Something to do with housing.
And now he's typing in the GPS if you hear weird sounds.
Oh.
It was like taken over by the German military, and so we couldn't get it. Well, we didn't try very hard, but it looked like we couldn't get in, and we just left and went to a place called Bruggen, and it had a berg. Oh, is that the pancake place? It looks shut.
Looks like part of it's been knocked down too.
It says Zumzerberg. Berg. And then now we're going to someplace else that Mark wants to nostalgically look at.
We're going to Angry
Please
Street.
drive to the
Angry
mission.
Street. Okay, yeah. This just shows you what the area looked like. Like the houses are all made of brick and look modern, etc.
Down there that
We just drove up to where another one of the old,
we lived. RAF Wildermath.
yeah, we drove up to there, and it was also now shut, but the guard came out like right away, but he was super nice, and he said that it's like a refugee camp now, so there's other people living there, but we can't get in, so now we're just, I don't know, driving around some more. Maybe we'll stop and watch these windmills. How come your eyes are like so good at seeing through stuff, and then when you put a camera on it, it just looks like trees?
I don't know, maybe that's just some kind of recognition from your head.
Turn right after 300.
And here's some shots in the Dutch grocery store. I thought some people would find it interesting or cool for some reason. And they have the same super ultra pasteurized milk that is just on shelves here as well. G for giraffe. F is for pheasant. Oh, hi, shark. I for Indian. Not sure why that's still allowed. Anyways, here is a drone compilation from the resort place. And good morning from the tent. I'm such a morning person. Look. Time for coffee and heading home. The German for traffic jam is just Stau, and I love that because it's much easier to like point ahead and just go Stau. This is the very fancy toilets that they have at some of the rest stops there. Hello, we are back. It is Sunday now, so we got home yesterday. The drive sucked so badly, but we arrived eventually. I counted, after the first incident of road work, I started counting, and there was literally 15 different construction sections that you had to slow down below to 80 or below, ranging from 500 meters long to 10 kilometers long, and the whole trip was only 600 kilometers, so 15, that's like every 50 kilometers there was road work. It was insane. One of the poorly planned construction zones led us into a 1.5 to 2 hour traffic jam, so that was fun. Luckily that was kind of at the start, otherwise I think we would have been a lot more demoralized. We were pretty demoralized, not gonna lie about that, but it was like manageable more so, and then the rest of the way was kind of okay, but it was like you slow down, you get up to speed, you slow down. It's like so frustrating. I think like we drove on the way there, we drove through Luxembourg. So we only did like a smaller stint through Germany, and then kind of went up through Luxembourg and Belgium instead of across through Germany. And it was just so much better. Like the roads and the driving in other places is better. I'm sorry to say that, I guess, to anybody from Germany watching, but like here was honestly stupid. It's pretty terrible, and the whole like you can drive as fast as you want thing seems like a good idea, but I think it just causes cars to bunch up and it's just a mess. Anyways, yeah, so it's difficult now to think about my trip and just talk about that because I'm so, like, even the day after, I'm still just thinking about that terrible drive. But it was a good trip. Luxembourg was obviously surprisingly awesome to both of us. I don't know if we would go back. Maybe we would go back. And I think the other part of the trip, we learned a lot. It was very interesting to be in the Netherlands or Holland, and we went to the grocery store there a couple of times, and you could see like how things are different or the same, and all of that was pretty cool. Mark got to check out all of the places that he wanted to check out from his previous experience in Germany. And I think although he was, and I would let him speak for himself, but he doesn't prefer necessarily to be too much in the videos, as you've probably seen. It was slightly disappointing, and I think that anybody who has ever gone back to some place where they lived before probably knows exactly what I'm talking about, where you have this desire to go back there for some reason. Usually an amount of fond memories, or just maybe it's just curiosity, I'm not sure what it is. And then whenever you go back, it's always weird. Like, stuff's changed, shops have moved, things you thought were one place look different, or the amount of things you've seen in between when you were there and there again I don't know, it's just always weird. But Mark had been talking about going there probably since we got here, and we got to go there, and I think it gave him what I'm going to call closure because he got to see the stuff. The base where he used to work is like taken over by Germany, and they're using it for like military housing or something. One of the other places he used to live was taken over by Germany, and it's being used for like refugee housing, and a couple other things like that, where I guess you find out what was happening to them, and then you just kind of move on, I guess. And he saw a couple of his old houses, so it was all pretty cool. And it was just generally interesting to see that place, I guess. The construction or the way of building things there versus here is also like totally different, even though it's also in Germany, because a lot of the places in northern Germany were heavily affected or bombed or whatever by the war. So the construction is much, much newer, and it's like a lot of brick, and it doesn't look like the UK because the house shapes and way of building and that is different still, but it looks kind of like a mashup of like the UK and what in my mind is what Germany looks like, which I guess is mostly what Bavaria looks like, which maybe is, but that's where I am. So like things here are super, super old. So that is it for this trip and video. Thank you for watching. This was the end of Mark's 2 weeks vacation. So now we're back to normal life, which is kind of, I don't know, it's always a mixed bag. I like routine. And I'm looking forward to getting back to a little bit of my own routine, but also I really like seeing stuff and going places. So I don't know, we're kind of hoping to do a few more like weekend trips going forward, but that's always difficult because then you're traveling at the same time as other people, and traffic is even worse than what we experienced, and all of those sorts of things. So I'm not sure how we're going to manage that exactly, but hopefully we do, and we plan some weekends or long weekends or something for the future. But as of now, we have nothing planned. So that's that COVID life. No plans. So and yeah, it'll be interesting to see if after all of we were still careful, but the Netherlands was a bit of a wild west of COVID So hopefully we continue to feel healthy over the next couple of weeks. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Like it, subscribe, whatever, I guess, if you want. Those are things that people say at the end of videos. So I will catch you soon in the next one. And this is a microphone I was holding this whole time. I'm trying to do better audio because I was not happy with the last video's audio. Okay, bye.